Hi guys, welcome back to another video. It's your girl Nayoka. And if you're new to my channel, please remember to hit that subscription, show me some support. Let's grow this channel. To my existing subscribers, big up yourself. You don't know. I love you. Thank you guys for being there with me over the years. I appreciate you guys. Mwah. Now, today's video is going to be a short one. I'm just going to answer a question that I received in my comment section. And that question is, how do you manage financially in Canada? I found this question very interesting because, yo, it's a question that I ask myself every day. Because as you all know, I'm going to school right now. And believe me, the school fee is not cheap, right? School fee is not cheap. Plus, I have other expenses like rent. That's another heavy one, So that's a question that I ask myself every day. And when I look back, I'm like, how am I doing this? How am I doing this? Because to be honest, I don't know how I'm doing it. It's God. I remember the other day somebody asked me, I don't remember who, but somebody asked me, how how are you, because my tuition deposit is gonna due this month. So somebody asked me, how are you gonna pay your upcoming tuition deposit? And I look at the person and I said, God, God is gonna help me to pay it. God. And to be honest, I don't know where it's gonna come from, but I just feel a peace of mind. I don't really feel too what should I say? I don't really feel too stressed out, and it is a stressful situation, but for some reason, usually I'll be stressing and crying and wondering and worrying and stressing and not eating and stuff like that. But for some reason, I just feel a peace when it comes to that. Like, I don't have it to pay right now, but when I think about it, like even when it comes to mind, because your bills and everything is gonna come to your mind. As soon as I wake up in the morning, I remember that, oh shoot, all the things that are weighing on my head. As soon as I wake up in the morning and I regain my consciousness, boom, all those things just slap me in my face. And I've been thinking about it like, shoot, how is the school fee deposit gonna pay? But for some reason, I have a kind of peace. Like, I know it needs to be paid. I know the time is coming. I know the funds is not available right now as I speak, but for some reason I just feel calm about it. And I just feel like, yo, at the end of the day, if I start crying, and if I start um beating up myself, what's that gonna profit me? Nothing at all. If I have to talk about this, I have to bring it way back from when I was a kid, because I am not a person who likes to go around asking. Some people, as soon as they reach into some form of difficulty, even if it's not major, they start calling this person and calling that person. Oh, can you borrow, lend me this? Can you lend me that? Can you give me this? I'm not the type of person like that, because I didn't grow up like that. When we were younger and we didn't have anything to eat, we just know that, hey, today is just a day when we don't have anything to eat, and hopefully tomorrow something works out good and we get something to eat. If my dad come home with one bulla, a bulla is like a small cake or something like that, and he would bring that home and everybody get a bite out of it. That's how I grew up. I never grew up, even like growing up when you have the corner shops, some parents would have a list, like they have a tab where they just send their kids and say, okay, go get a pound of rice and go get a pound of chicken back, and then they write it down, say, okay, you owe this. I never grew up doing that. Never, ever, 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 ever grew up doing that, because my parents weren't the type to go down the road and say, okay, lend me this and borrow this and borrow that and borrow that. Never. So I grew up with that mentality because I've never seen my parents doing it, especially my dad. Never seen him doing that. So I just grew up like this. So I always, I'm always an independent person. to the extent where I want to have things for myself. I don't want to be the type of person to be asking people for things every minute. As soon as something happen, oh, can you do this? Oh, that's not me. If I ask somebody for something, it has to be a dire situation. It has to be something extreme for me to ask. Extreme. Because as I said, I didn't grow up like that. And to be honest, I love the way that I am because nobody can come and say, oh, if it wasn't for me, then da 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 da. Or if it wasn't for me, then da 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 da. I like to have that peace of mind. But anyway, not straying too much. When you ask me that question about how I'm managing financially, am I really managing or am I just riding with the waves? I feel like I'm just riding with the waves and trusting in God at this point because when you think about school fee, then you think about rent, then you think about food, then you think about utilities, then you think about transportation and food, then you wouldn't be asking how I'm managing. Guys, it's not easy. It's not easy. You see me come on here, putting on a pretty face, putting on a smiley face. Even though you guys know, I keep it real on my channel. I'm not the type that only comes when it's happiness. I come when it's bad times. I come when it's sad times. I come whatever time. I don't only come with happy times and when I look pretty and all of that, right? But yeah, as I was saying, how am I managing right now? If I slip, right now, if I ever slip, believe me, I'm gonna slide. In Canada, it's not easy. There's a lot of people who are homeless right now, living on the streets, don't have any family, don't have anything. I follow this channel on Instagram where this guy he goes around downtown and he just like interviews the homeless people and stuff like that. And yo, when you listen to those homeless people, you're like, damn, these people are educated. The way they speak, you're like, whoa, you would never expect a well educated person to be on the streets like that. But at the end of the day, your mental health is very important because it's their mental health that's why right there they reach that level because yo the pressure hit them so much that damn it just damaged their mental state, and once your mental state is done, that's it for you. You get caught up on the streets, then you start taking drugs and you get addicted. That's how it is, right? And I follow this page and I look at those people. I'm like, wow, some of these people are well educated and they speak so well. And they just got caught up into a situation where they just got lost. I heard about a lady, she said that the reason why she ended up on the streets is because, and this one wasn't a crackhead, this one was a normal one. Well, she seemed normal. She didn't seem like she was taking the drugs or anything, right? She seemed like she was normal. She seemed like she wasn't taking drugs. But she said the reason why she ended up on the streets is because her husband died and the husband was like the breadwinner, or well, both of them were working, but she, you know, when you have that support, because it's like imagine you have a partner and both of you live together and you are like, okay, we're doing what we can do, we're doing our best to like make ends meet, and imagine that person pass away. So that extra support that you're getting, you're not going to get it anymore because that person is not there anymore. And then who are you going to turn to when you don't have any close family member who's willing to help you out? And especially Jamaican people, like I'm Jamaican and all my family and everybody around me, most people around me are Jamaican, but I realize that us as Jamaican people, we don't stick together. We don't stick together. Like when you look at other people from different countries, oh, they stick together and everybody's together and they always form groups and cliques. When it comes to Jamaican, we don't want to be friends with Jamaicans. We want other friends, you know? And I feel like that's a cultural thing, and I think we should just break out of that. And even if we can't break out of it, we need to teach our kids different things. You know what I mean? Not straying too much, but the lady said she is homeless because her husband died. And I was like, wow, look at that. And I'm telling you, some people are on the edge. Some people are on the edge. Like if something happened to them, especially if they go sick for like a week, that's it for them. And believe me, that's how a lot of people are living in Canada right now. On the verge. Like just a little thin line and them from being in a home to being homeless. To be honest, like the struggle is real. How are we managing? We're not managing. We are not managing, man. We're not managing. We're taking it as the days go by, and we're taking it, you know. They said when I reach to that bridge, I will cross it. Yeah, every bridge I cross, I see how I cross it. Sometimes I don't. I'm looking and I don't even know how I'm gonna cross that bridge, but I cross it. Like say for example, perfect example. Yesterday, I was at home laying down, and the thought about my tuition deposit came up. And it's like, how are you gonna pay your tuition deposit? And this is exactly how I reacted. Like the thought came to mind, and I was like, to be honest, I'm not gonna even think about this right now because I don't even want to start stressing. Obviously, I said it in patois, but for you guys to understand, I have to say it in English. I was like, yo, me, I'm not dealing with this right now. And I tried to like get the thought out of my head because I know once I drop into that hole, I'm gonna be stressing. And then about an hour after that, I received an email saying that, oh, congratulations, Nayoka, you receive $1,000 in from bursary, something something from Humber College. I was like, what the hell? I ran out of my bed, jumped to my computer. I was like, let me look if this is true because I don't want to be all excited and then it's nothing. You know what I mean? So I run to the computer, look it up, and I realized that, oh yeah, I did get the $1,000. They did apply it, but they took some out of it and I end up with 600. But I'm still grateful because yo, that 600 brought me from this down here to like up here, you know? So I'm grateful for that. And I the only thing I can say, that's God. That is God. Because I was thinking like, yo, where am I gonna find this $2,000 from to pay this deposit? And I got 600. So I'm grateful. So stuff like that, that's how I go forward. That's how I go through. That's how I do my thing. Because I can't sit here and worry and stress about finance. I used to do that, to be honest. 2024, that thing hit me. That thing hit me so bad, you know, and it got me to a place where almost I was reaching to a depression state, right? But I had to talk to myself. I had to counsel myself. I had to talk to God. I had to pray about things. You know what I mean? And God showed me a light and I'm running to the light. So to answer your question, how I'm managing, I'm not managing. I'm just riding with the waves. Riding with my hairstyle. I used to be able to like go to the hair salon, get my hair done because to be honest, I am not the type of person. I'm not a hair person. I am not a hair person. That when they were giving out the talent of combing hair, I was like way in the back of the line. I wasn't at the back of the line, but I was like way far back because I'm not the type to comb hair. When it comes to hair and stuff like that, that's not me, right? So and then if my hair is not done, it's hard for me because I have to wake up in the morning an extra 30 minutes to an hour earlier just to fix the hair, and then when I spend all that time to fix the hair, it still don't look good. Believe me, it still don't look good. So my hair, I have to comb it myself. I did this myself with the help of my sister. You see me? I could go to the hairdresser because if I go into the hairdresser, then that's another maybe $200 and I don't have it. I need to put that 200 on my Humber College bill. But anyway, guys, this is not a sob video though. So don't feel like, oh, it's sob. It's not a sad video. It's just me answering the question and being truthful. Because as I said, I want to give you guys the good, the bad, and the ugly, and the everything in between. You know what I mean? Like this is my, as I said, this is my personal journey as an immigrant until I reach to my goal. This is my personal journey as an immigrant, and I want to give it to you just as it is. You know? Anyway, guys, I feel like I've been talking for a long time. I hope you enjoy this video, and I hope somebody would watch this video and find a sense of hope, you know, a sense of encouragement to keep on pushing, especially if you're an immigrant in Canada like me. Not because you see me come on here looking all pretty and cutesy and demure, it doesn't mean that everything is going perfect in my life, okay? So, just keep it pushing, keep your head up, work towards your goal and help yourself to just stay above the waters, because life is not easy. And no matter where you go, no matter what country you live in, you will still face hardship. So just, enjoy life and take it one day at a time. Don't be stressful. Don't stress yourself too much. Don't stress yourself into depression, you know. So, yeah, I hope this encourages someone today, and I hope somebody even learned something from this video today, right? Because you don't only just learn when you go through it, you learn also when you can learn from other people's mistake. And to the people who haven't been in Canada as yet, you just come with the mindset that, yo, it's not going to be a bed of roses. It's going to be a struggle. So just take your time, do what you got to do, and stay blessed. And I will catch you in the next video. All right. Bye, guys.